What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Bricks and Toys. And in today's video, we're with the new Lego City, the Lego Van, set number 60500 for the 6 and up crowd. This set does cost $29.99 here in the US, and it does feature 276 pieces. Now, before we go any further about talking about today's build, I want to talk about why. The why to everything I do, I always feel is like a little interesting. Sometimes, you know what, it's just a flat out, why the hell not? Who cares why? And today, you know what, it's kind of like that today because it all started with, I think, this one, and then this one, and then this one. I'm not exactly sure. Now, a long time ago, there was a Toys R Us Lego truck, and I think as a subsidiary of that, they actually had another Lego truck, a semi-truck, to go along with it. And I always thought that that was the coolest-ish ever. Like, if I could have bought one of those each brand new, I definitely would have. But now Toys R Us is bankrupt here in the US, and that's pretty much all the information I need to know that Lego and Toys R Us are never going to collaborate, likely ever again. Now, I do know that the brand is still alive in some other countries, like in Canada, but that's getting on a whole nother topic. So in 2024, when I found out that the Lego City lineup was going to make a Lego semi-hauler, I was like, hell yeah, that's all I need to hear. I'm buying it. And to this day, 2 years later almost, this is still like one of my favorite sets. I used to have it in my room to where I saw it every single day. And I thought, you know what? That's not quite good enough. Let's take it out of the room and let's put it back into the Lego studio for me to see every time that I'm in here building and doing things, and also so the cat doesn't run off with the forklift. Yes, that was a problem. So needless to say, this set has been easily like one of my favoriteest off the wall type sets. I just really like this. I mean, everything on this is printed. It's yellow with the Lego yellow. It's just Lego awesomeness. And then over here, which is more in the vein of what we got going on today, this was a GWP for my Lego store opening in Summerlin, Nevada, which is, a part of Las Vegas, Nevada, where I used to live. And this set I got as a promotional for that store opening. I think a lot of people got this for various reasons throughout anywhere, but that's my reason as to how I got this set. Now, I do remember that information because that was about the time that we were starting to lose our home in Las Vegas due to things that are still haunting my ass to this day. We'll talk more about that in a later video. I remember thinking to myself, am I going to build this set or am I going to sell it? Because I think when it was new in its little box, it was worth quite a bit of money. And not like hundreds, but a decent amount. I think like 30 or 40 or maybe 50. I don't quite remember. But I remember strongly thinking to myself, this little Lego truck is so cool that I cannot let the things that my mom has done make me lose it. So I put my foot down and I did not sell this set. Now, just like with the Lego Semi over here, it's got printed Lego logos on it as well. So needless to say, I've got a thing for bright yellow Lego trucks. That might be a little bit of the tism. I'm not quite sure, but I'm definitely feeling it. And now, today, after a couple years of no new Lego trucks, we actually have a new Lego truck. And I think this one is really cool. And I'm going to start telling you why by going over the box right now. So the box is your traditional Lego City box. It's blue. It's got a picture of the city in the background. And imposed is the set. Now, one of the first things that I notice is the way that they access the Lego sets in the van. And that is how the door opens up on the side, which is very familiar to how these doors opened up. And I thought this was such a super cool technique. And now we get to see it slim down and fit in to a smaller package. So if you missed out on this set because of price or because of shelf space, well, guess what? You guys get to experience that same technique now in a smaller package, which you should be able to fit in your smaller space. Besides the wide opening door, we can see that they do have little Lego sets printed on little Lego tiles. And now these tiles are updated to the newer Lego sets that came in the last year or two. So now we get a new Lego truck with a similar technique with what I hope to be printed little tiles that we just got within the last year or so to update the ones that we have in this set. And then on top of all that, we do get what looks to be 2 new minifigures, one using the little hearing aid printed piece for her head. This whole thing on the front of the box is already looking really good and really promising, and it seems to be a continuation of what we've already gotten with the semi-hauler. Now moving over to the side of the box, we have our country of origin and our do not eat it. Moving over to this side of the box, we have another picture of basically what we see in the front of the box. But now we have a new picture of the front of the van with the 2 minifigures riding along inside of it. Coming over here to the top of the box, we have the 2 little Lego workers enjoying what looks to be the little Lego tiles of the Lego sets, which is nice, 1-to-1 of one of the minifigures. Of course, our little logos. Coming over here to the bottom of the box, we have our Legal Eagles, Lego.com, Lego app information, recycling information, and our barcode. Now moving over here to the back of the box, we get a couple more pictures. One of the pictures is the full picture of what we've seen on the side. It looks like they're having so much fun and hauling so much butt that they got Lego sets falling out the back. So I guess the sides open up and the back opens up. And we can see that depicted up here in this top picture of them kind of doing like the Tesla Model Y thing with the gull wing opening looking sides of the van. Our next picture shows them handing out little Lego boxes to each other, getting the job done with a little hand truck. And if all of this fun was not enough, if you look a little bit closer on the background of the back of the box, you can see something eerily familiar coming down the freeway up above. And that is our larger truck. So everything with this is super full circle. I'm really enjoying the experience of this little $30 set. Now guys, let's crack open this box and let's see what's inside. To achieve that, it's just 2 punch tabs as usual. We're gonna go ahead, rip her open, give you guys the first look inside, and do our pour. And there we go. Now I'm only gonna guess we're gonna have 3 bags with this set. We have bag 1, we have bag 2, and we have bag 3. In addition to our 3 bags, we do have our book with a QR code to get our 20 points. And we do have a little 2x16 plate loose in the box. Taking a look at our instructions, I only believe it's going to have the app information. And then by page 4, it's going to go straight into the building, starting off with our first male minifigure. And then our second, which is our female minifigure, on page 5. At the very end of the book, on page 110 and 111, we have some functions of how the set works and our minifigures with the set. But our last building step is going to be building step 108 on page 109. And guys, that is our Lego van. We have our Lego semi-truck, we have our Lego truck, and now, well, we needed to get our Lego van, guys. And without further ado, I'm going to get it built, and you guys are going to see that van fully built in the review segment right here. Okay, everybody, let's begin to talk about the Lego van. And then we'll kind of do a side-by-side of what they look like with the others. But first up, let's talk about these minifigures. I'm going to keep these minifigures in this goofy little position because, well, technically speaking, they are the exact same minifigure, just 2 different head pieces, no dual-sided faces or anything like that, just back torso print and front torso print. The male minifigure does have a beard and a black hairpiece, where the female minifigure does not have a beard, but does have a little earpiece in her ear, and she also has this little red hand truck. Now, taking a look at the van, it's yellow, and it has no stickers. Everything is printed. We do have this really nice sloped roof piece, which looks really nice. And it comes off easily, so you can get your minifigures in and out of there. The interior does have a printed gauge cluster, traditional steering wheel, nothing more, nothing less. These little refrigerator-style doors to get in and out. Simple as that. Putting our roof piece back on, we can continue to look at the front of the van, and there's honestly nothing too special in here. There is a little bit of an engine that you can access, so that is cool. We have simple little cheese slopes for the headlights, black for the bumper, the same black little slopes for the bottom of the van on both sides. Everything's pretty much parallel, all brick-built chassis. The rims are 3 pieces. We have the printed center caps, the silver wheels, and then we have the rubber element that goes onto the plastic wheels. We do have these little orange little tabs up here representing lights, as well as the red little dots representing the rear lights. And then we do have a radiator grille for like the steps to get up. Our doors do open up just like that, 1 and 2, and then you can get a look inside. And if that's not a good enough view for you, well, you close those up and go ahead and get a view in like that. And you can also open these up where they're just like that, like a Tesla Model Y. This does have the palette of Lego inside of it. Let's take a look at those. All printed pieces as well. And I do recognize some of these Lego City sets from the last year. I've never built any of them, but looking at this, looks pretty cool. To get that pallet in, it just sits right in. It does not click into any bricks. There are these 4 little guide black studs, as well as a wrench and a little bit of a cargo lighting in there. And guys, that is pretty much your Lego van in a nutshell. It looks really awesome. And when you put it next to that counterpart, it looks even more awesome. I like to see the evolution of the big old one to the littler one, the more cost-effective option. And then, if that's not enough, we also have that little one too. Looks like our little Lego truck family is coming along quite nicely. Now let's wrap up this video. Okay, now let's bring this video to a tidy little close. And just for starters, I am going to say this Lego van is great for any adult collector or kid collector. It may be 6 and older, but if you're 60, I'm for sure you'll enjoy it just as much as you would as if you were 6. I do like the fact of how it's all brick built. I do also like the fact that it's right in vein of building most Lego City vehicles with its simplicity building style. There was nothing breathtaking about building it. Little details that I did like is the little under the hood. There is a little bit of an engine. I do like that little bit of detail. Other than that, there's not a lot of other little details to really talk about. I love how the doors open up in a very similar fashion to the old truck. As you guys can see, everything's just a little bit smaller with this guy. Now, with it being smaller, I do have to say, I do feel like $30 is a little bit steep on the price. It's not like they have to pay licensing to Lego to manufacture this product because, well, they are Lego. So I do feel like this should have been around $20 or $25. Not quite $30, but even though it is at the $30 price tag, it does not have any stickers or anything bad about it. It does come with 2 minifigures, and I guess I could still recommend it even if it is $30, but still would like a little bit cheaper if possible. Definitely one that you'll likely be able to pick up on sale in the future. And if the $30 price tag is a little bit high to you, that might be when you want to pick up that set. So with that being said, definitely recommend this set with the thumbs up. Definitely worth checking out, and it's definitely worth adding to your small Lego vehicle collection, like your Speed Champions and other small little sets. And on that one, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, please consider the subscribe button to follow along with everything that we do here. As usual, share the video with a friend, hit the thumbs up, the like button, drop your comments down below. Did you pick up this guy? Do you have both of these or all 3 of these? Let me know. Love to talk with you guys as per usual. Up next on the YouTube channel, we will be talking about what we are facing going into the month of April. Today, as of filming this, I got the really bad news of my financial future, which is half in the hands of somebody else that's been going through their own problems. And we're going to talk about how that affects the channel, because today the nuclear bomb dropped in my household, and now we are scrambling mad to try to survive. So I want to discuss what all of that means going forward with the channel, and hopefully we are here, but we will be saying farewell to a lot of Lego sets to get by. So be sure to check out all that drama and good stuff, as well as us discussing new Lego sets coming out in April in our April Outlook video. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all have a good one.